Here we go. This was one of the problems that you had seen. I took every one of those quizzes, or every one of these quiz problems came directly off of worksheet 3. Do you remember seeing them? Yeah. Number 1, talk to me. What's the first thing you needed to do? You need to find the LCD, and the LCD was 6. So if I multiply, which means divide, because there's a 3 and a 2 in each one of those 6's, do we understand that? So 6 divided by 2 is 3. Drop down the numerator in parentheses, please. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Drop down the 7x is equal to 6 times 46, because there's no denominator. 6 times 6 is 36. Carry the 3. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 3 is 27. Do we see that? Yeah. Okay, the next thing you needed to do is multiply through, so that gives you 9x plus 14x is equal to 276. For those of you who missed it, did you find your mistakes already? Yeah. Excellent. Keep adding. 9x and 14x give you 23x is equal to 276. Now what? Divide by 23. And you get x is equal to 12. Do we all understand visual or verbal today? If you get it, yay or nay? Yay? Did you get it? Okay, moving on to the next one. Number 2. I'm looking at my denominators. I see a 9, 3, and 12. How do I find my LCD? I take the biggest number, and that's 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. I ask myself, does 9 go into 12? No. Does it go into 24? No. Does it go into 36? Does 3 go into 36? So therefore, this is my LCD. Do we all understand that? So 36 divided by 9 is 4. Bring down the numerator in parentheses, please. 36 divided by 3 is 12. Drop down the numerator in parentheses. 36 divided by 12 is? Bring down the numerator in parentheses. So now, what do I do? Sure do. So that's 16x minus 12 plus 36x plus 12 is equal to 3x minus 21. Now what? CLT. CLT. Combine like terms. The 12s cancel out. Thank you, Heidi. And what is 16 plus 36? 52. It is a lot. Thanks, Dylan. And 36 or 52x equals 3x minus 21. What do I do? Subtract the 3x. And that gives you 49x is equal to negative 21. How many of you dropped your negative sign? I had several of you on there for answers dropped your negative. On a paper quiz, I would mark 1 point off, and you'd get all the points for everything else because the only thing you missed was a negative. On the quick quizzes, it's all or nothing, baby. Do we all understand that? Okay? So now, at this point, I need to divide both sides by 49. What's in common between 21 and 49? That's 7. So 21 divided by 7 is negative 3. And 49 divided by 7 is 7 to give you negative 3 sevenths. I had several people tell me it was positive 3 sevenths. Do we understand where we went wrong, yay or nay? Yes. Okay, moving right along. Problem number 3. What is different about problem number 3? We have decimals, but decimals are the equivalent of fractions. Do I need the zeros on the 0.60 and the 0.40? No, they're there to cause confusion. So that's 6 tenths x plus 4 tenths times 100 minus x is equal to 50. Do we all understand that, yes or no? Yes. Now, how many of you wanted to multiply by 10 right now? Well, I'm very, very surprised because the common denominator would be 10. However, you're going to be dealing with what type of numbers? Larger numbers, aren't you? If we would reduce first, 6 over 10 reduces down to 3/5 x plus 2/5 times 100 minus x is equal to 50. Do you see now what would be my LCD? How many of you have your LCD being 5? Good job, guys. Now I need to multiply everything by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So do I worry about the 1? No, drop down to 3x. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Drop down the 2 times 100 minus x. And 5 times 5 is 25. Bring down the 0. Now what do? Distribute. So this is going to be 3x plus 200 minus 2x is equal to 250. What do I do? Combine like terms first. It'll make life easier on you. If you do that, that's going to give you x plus 200 is equal to 250. Now what? Subtract 200. And I get x is equal to 50. Now, many of us understand this now. Any visual or verbal? Are we good?
I think this is the one I got. Yeah,
Let's shoot for
nothing, absolutely nothing like that.
You know, I think I know why you didn't get it. The other ones is probably because you did your homework. I think that could be why. That could be an issue, don't you think? It angers me. Okay, now, next, number 4. I had one lonely little person. Sarah, congratulations, you are awesome. How do we do this? Why do we distribute first, Brendan? Because there's a fraction inside the parentheses. I need to distribute 1/3 times x is 1/3 x, minus 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 2 is 6. Now, watch very carefully. You guys do great whenever you see the minus for the first term. You say, go right ahead, you say minus 1/4 x. Then, you totally screw it up and you put minus. How many of you put minus next? A negative times a negative is a positive. To never make that mistake, change that minus 1/4 to plus negative 1/4, and your brain will always distribute a negative 1/4. Okay? So negative 1/4 times a negative 1/3 gives me a positive 1/12 is equal to 1/3. Do we all understand that right now, yes or no? Yay. Okay, now what do I do? What's the next step? Well, I could, but why would I want to combine ugly fractions? Multiply by 12, because we're lazy in mathematics and we like to take the easy route rather than the hard route, which is get a common denominator, right? So if I multiply the entire thing by the LCD, each one of those 3, 6, 4, and 12 are inside of 12, so 12 divided by 3 is 4. Do I need the 1? No. Drop down the x. And 12 divided by 6 is? Minus 2. 12 divided by 4 is? Minus 3x. 12 divided by 12 is? 1 is equal to? 12 divided by 3 is? 4. Now what do I do? Isn't that gorgeous now? Gorgeous. Beautiful. Right? So what do I do? Combine like terms. What's 4 x's minus 3 x's? X. So negative 2 plus 1 gives me? Negative 1. Add that 1. And we get x equals 5. Was that problem really that bad?
I did it on the board.
You did do it on the board. Why didn't you do it on your paper and get it on this problem? This quiz. I mean, seriously. Now, how many times have I done these problems for you? Stop what you're doing. Keep the paper out, please. We're not done. We're working right up to 2:24 today. Okay? Not even joking. We have a test in here tomorrow. The test is over all of section 1-4. Clearly, I think this section is a very important section that I would have one test over this section. Do we understand that? Okay? Why do I think it's so important? Because I've given you book work, worksheet over variables, getting rid of fractions without solving, getting rid of fractions with solving, and a variable worksheet again. So you've had 5 assignments over one section. Because in the world of equations, there are so many different types that you need to familiarize with all of them. You need to get familiarized with all of them. You understand that? So tomorrow you're going to have a quiz or a big quiz, small test over it. With me? That is tomorrow. When you are done with that test tomorrow, you're going to get the headphones and laptops out and listen to a video so that everybody in here is able to work quietly and finish their tests and take as much time on as they want. So those of you who are fast-paced workers, you can work at your own pace, grab a laptop, and listen to the next video. Any questions over what I just said? Now, what is it over? First things first, solve for x right now. Write it down on your paper and do the problem. You have 1 minute. Okay, your 1 minute's up. Now with that said, I'm solving for x. So since I'm solving for x, how many x's do you see up there? 2 x's, so I need to bring them on the same side. So I'm going to subtract 4kx from both sides. So I'm left with negative 7h is equal to, what's 1kx minus 4kx? Negative 3kx. What am I solving for? I'm solving for x, so what's attached to it? Divide by negative 3k on both sides. The negative divided by negative is a positive 7h over 3k. You need to do that because you have a quiz tomorrow.
I didn't do the
I do.
I didn't do the.
All I care is the end result of the answer. I would mark that wrong because they are like terms.
Yeah.
Solve for x. You have 1 minute. Okay, here we go. What is ugly about this problem? Look, I went ahead and just made that one fraction. So what can I do? Multiply by 2. So that's 2a is equal to 1h, or h times a plus x. Where's x at? So I need to get it out of parentheses by distributing. So that's ah plus hx. And now what am I solving for? What's attached by addition or subtraction? I need to subtract the AH from both sides. So that's 2 big A minus little AH, which means they're not like terms. Okay, they stand for different things. Now I'm solving for x, so what is attached? Divide by h, so you can have 2A minus AH over h, or you can have 2A over h minus A is equal to x. I would accept either or. I would accept either or. Okay? Now, let's do another one. How do I solve that one? You have 1 minute. Solve for x. Solve for x. Okay, so put this over 1. Why do I want to put that over 1? A fraction equals a fraction and cross multiply. A minus c is equal to m times x plus 2. What am I solving for? X. What's attached to it, or where is it at? So what do I do? How do I get it out? By distributing. Now I'm solving for x, so what do I get rid of? Nope. I need to subtract the 2m from both sides. Now what do I solve for? Divide by m. And if you gave me a minus c minus 2m divided by m, or a minus c over m minus 2 is equal to x, I would accept either or. Okay? Whichever way your brain thinks. Okay? Now, with that said, we have a quiz in here tomorrow. You need to make sure you go fishing. When do you go fishing? When you have 2 of the variables that you're solving for, right? You fish it out. Okay? You can take this off. Test tomorrow. I will not be here Thursday. I will talk about that tomorrow.
But you don't distribute